I'm so happy and grateful now that money flows to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. Yes, sir! What's going on, family? It's your man, Mr. Law of Attraction. And I want you to remember who you are. You might be going through one of these three situations right now. It is mentally eating at you every single night. So let's talk about the first guy right now. The first guy is you're waiting for your win. It may have been months. For some of you, it may have been years, and you have not yet had your break. And let me tell you, I'm going to be covering some of the mental blocks you need to walk through. The second guy is the guy he's had some success, but the thing is, it's up and it's down. 1 month he makes 10,000, then he makes nothing. Then he makes 50,000, then he's back over. And he's in business for 2 years, then he goes out of business. It's like he can't even build a structured life. He makes some good money in some periods, but then there's droughts that it messes with you. And then there's a guy that's watching this. You have everything. You have all the cars, the clothes, the money, everything that a man could want physically. But yet inside right now, you feel lost. You feel like you're going through the motions. You feel like you're not the man that you once were when you started that business. So we'll be talking about how to get back on track by remembering who you are. So this message is actually to myself. I did one of these back in Dubai. And, I've been studying some Earl Nightingale recently. If you guys are familiar, I studied with this man here, Bob Proctor, for several years, scaled multiple 7-figure businesses by rewiring the mind, working with people how to get this thing right. And so as I was studying Earl Nightingale, who was the mentor of Bob Proctor, we're studying attitude. And he says that if you want to change your life, you have to change your attitude. Now, what is your attitude? Before you change the attitude of what the world is going on outside of you, you have to change your attitude towards yourself. Your attitude is towards yourself, aka your frequency, thoughts, feelings, and actions. The frequency that you hold about yourself, you begin to radiate out. And this is something that I've noticed in the peaks and troughs here, even on these YouTube channels and in my life. I'm the first guy to be completely honest. There's some periods in my life and in my business where I feel like I'm doing less. I'm putting in less effort. And yes, I'm having quantum leaps in my income, having record days, record weeks, and record months. Then several months will go by, and it feels like I can't even get a client. And that can start to eat at your self-image. I remember there was a period in my life when I had earned my first $1 million, and then I lost it all. So working with Bob Proctor, did about 1.2 million, something like this. And after a couple of years, I lost it all, right? My income stopped, my expenses were high, and I lost it. And let me tell you, during that 2 periods the 2-year period while I was broke, let me tell you, that was one of the most psychologically difficult times in my life. This was the time when I was doubting if I was good enough. I was doubting because I thought I got lucky. I thought that maybe it was a fluke. Maybe these guys helped me out. Maybe I started looking outside and I started to doubt my capabilities. And because I started to minimize my self-image, because I started to minimize who I was, I started to take smaller actions. Now, what got me out of that drought was when I left to Dubai. I left to Dubai with $1,500 back in 2024, and that completely changed my life. I started to think bigger. Now, what is it that I started to do? I started to remember who I am. And brother, this is a message to remember who you are. It's been tough. I know it's been tough. It's been tough to wake up. Sometimes you feel aimless. You're waking up and that same drive that you had several weeks, several months, several years ago, it's not there. And you feel like you're going through the motions. Or it might be a time in your phase right now where you don't really know what to do and you feel like the weight is on your shoulder. You don't know if you should pivot your niche, pivot your business, sell the business, move to the city. It's like so many things are coming against you at the same time. The money might even be drying up. The views might be drying up, but yet you need more to come out of you. And it's like this teeter-totter where it's like, damn, the outside world is saying that I'm fucked right now, or it's not going your way. And then the internal motivation that's been driving you to get you to where you're at, it's not there anymore. And it becomes this like self-negative, self-perpetuating cycle, right? This just every loop. And I felt myself going through that. I felt myself going where it's like the views are not where they used to be. And that would cause me to get emotionally involved in it, look at the views and start to put less energy behind my content or not be motivated to make a piece of content. And that's the first law that I teach you guys that we have to avoid is the devil's language, looking at the outside world and allowing it to control our emotions. Because what will start to happen is we look at our outside world based on our senses, see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So based on what we see outside, we see the image of the bank account. We see the image of the views. We see the image of the cash flow drying up. We see the image of the cycle of going up and down over years or just going through the mundane, not having that internal purpose. And based on what you see outside of you, you begin to internalize it. And because it's outside of you, it's so much easier to get emotionally involved because you're touching it, seeing it, smelling it, tasting and touching it. Because you get emotionally involved and pass through the subconscious mind, it puts your body in a similar frequency. Your attitude becomes lower. You might be doing the actions. You're still doing the views. You're still doing the videos. You're still doing the sales calls. You're still doing the content. You're still doing what you need to do, but you're doing it at a lower frequency version of yourself. Best example, I've been doing boxing recently. And there's moments when we're in that, fifth round, sixth round, I'm gassed, I'm tired. And I notice myself doing less, right? I know I can do more. I'm punching, I'm doing my jab, my jab, my one, my two, my 1 and 2, but I'm half-assing it. And I know I'm half-assing it. Even though I'm doing the work and throwing the punches, they're half-ass punches. So that's when I have to mentally regroup and get myself back to it. You see, you might be doing what you need to be doing, but you're doing it at a lower frequency version of yourself. Why is that? Because you forgot who you are, brother. One thing that I learned studying this material is that there's infinite potential that lies within you. There's only 2 references that we can go to understand your true potential, brother. The first one is theology. When it says that Christ is within us and we can do all things through Jesus, right? That means we can do all things as possible. If Jesus is on our side, what weapon be formed against us, right? Theology. Or we can go to science that says there's infinite potential within us. Just in the pinky, if we were to break down the electrons in your pinky, you have enough to light up a city for 7 days. And then you'll say, you have no energy. And then you say, you're tired. It's not that, brother. You just lost your direction. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to remember who we are. And hear me on this. Go to references. You can even go to something like the Bible, which I'm not an expert in. So I'm going to speak on what I know, which is, for example, the science of getting rich. That says that all spiritual powers are on your side. Brother, if you have a vision in your mind and you're going after it, you have to know that everything is in your favor. Even though the business might be drying up, it's in your favor. Even though that relationship didn't work out, it's in your favor. No matter what's going on in your life right now, I want you to make a decision that it's in your favor. This is a mindset shift. Now that we have that mindset shift, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pull ourselves out of it. We're going to have to do small micro actions. And that might be tough right now. You may not even want to get out of bed. You may not even want to work. And I understand that. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to get a big vision again. We have lost the vision. We have lost the way. Imagine you wanted to go on a vacation. You're going to take a flight. And you come up to the reception. I'm the reception. I'm going to give you your ticket. And you say, DeAndre, I want to go on a vacation. I say, congratulations. Well, welcome. Where would you like to go? And then you say, I don't know. Me being at the reception, I can't really help you because I don't know where your end destination is. If you want to go to Brazil, it's that flight. If you want to go to Dubai, it's that flight. If you want to go to Miami, it's that flight. If you want to go to New York, it's that flight. I don't know which direction to take you because you don't even know where you're going. But when you get a clear crystal vision, I'm going to Miami, I'm going to Dubai, I can give you your ticket and you can get on your flight and I can point you in the right direction. The first step we're going to have to do to remember who we are is we're going to have to go back to the basics. What is our goal? What is our vision? What are we going after? We have to go after something that's so exciting that gets us up out of bed that we're excited for life. We're excited to get up because we're moving towards our goal. We have lost our vision. You have lost your vision. That's why it's going that way. That's why it's been for years you haven't got results, or why it's been up and down over several years. Or if you have all the success already, you just feel like nothing's deep inside, you've lost the vision of where you're going. Get a clear image of what that looks like. Then the second step is we're going to have to detox our life, right? Here's one thing that I learned is that it's something called the paradigm, okay? Conscious mind and subconscious mind. As we get older, we gather a lot of information, especially about our niche and especially about our industry. You might be really good at what you do. You're an expert in sales, marketing, whatever, funnels, e-com, ads, whatever. You're an expert in something. And you've gathered a lot of knowledge and you know what to do already. But what's happened is that what you know and what you do, because you haven't been motivated, because you've lost your vision, that gap begins to widen over time. And that widening of your gap, you start to lose self-respect. You start to lose self-esteem. You start to lose confidence. And that causes a lot of frustration because you know what to do, but you're not doing it, which then self-perpetuates, so you're not getting the results. And it just starts this gap of frustration. And one thing that I learned is that frustration always reflects itself in negative habits. This is why you've been going through a lot of hell lately. Those addictions have come back up. Was it the porn, chasing women, going out, video games, movies? What is it, brother? There's some distraction that's been in your life right now as you've been going through this phase of like trying to figure out what you're trying to do in your life. And that distraction has been what's been keeping you down. What's the hard thing to do is we're going to have to face those feelings, and those feelings are tough. to sit there and not know what to do, to sit there and start to invent plans of how you're going to get yourself out of there. That's work and that's hard. And what we do is we avoid that. And we avoid that by distracting ourselves. But let me tell you, we're going to have to detox those distractions in order for us to remember who we are, because there's a leak in your bucket. We have to get rid of those distractions. Make a decision right now. Make a decision right now this week, and you're going to go on a 30-day fast. You're going to go on a 30-day fast. No sex, no porn, no processed foods, no overeating, no whatever indulgence that you're going after right now. No dating, whatever it is, semen retention. I don't care. Make a decision right now. I am. Because I remembered who I am. I remembered I'm Mr. Magnetic. I remembered I'm Mr. Law of Attraction. I remember what I built. I remember when I came from nothing. I remember during those tough times is when I picked my mind up and I got through it. Because what will happen is a lot of people will be knocked down, but they don't get back up. I've been watching Rocky lately, right? He gets knocked down, but he always gets back up. See, people are getting knocked down, and that's normal. It's a winter. You're getting knocked down, but you're going to have to get back up, and you're going to get back up with your mindset, not just with your hands, with your mindset. Two people might be going through the same situation. One person is looking at the negative side. The other person is looking at the positive side. If we fast forward 90 days, who's going to be in a better position? Yes, sir. This is why you have to remember who you are. All spiritual powers are on your side. God is on your side. Energy is on your side. The universe is here to help you grow. If you have a vision in your mind and you put your heart behind it and you get up one more day and you detox and you make a decision to go after, let me tell you, you will remember who you are. Maybe even adding in a little bit of physical discipline. That boxing I've been doing has been getting my mind right. Getting rid of those distractions, man. I'd rather sit and distract myself than do the work that's required because I don't know exactly what I got to do. I got to pivot my YouTube channel. I got to pivot my niche. I got to pivot my content. I got to pivot a lot of things. And that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of trust with the Lord that He be on your side. The Lord is walking with you. But have you called to Him? Have you been in His presence? Because He will reveal the door to you. Because whatever you're going through, you're here to pivot. You're pivoting. Pivoting to something that you haven't seen before. And that pivot can be scary. And that pivot can be a place where you don't see it now. And that's where you have to trust. Whether you want to trust in the universe or trust in yourself, I don't care. I trust in the Lord that everything's working on my side. Did you think I wanted to get up and make this video at 10 o'clock at night? But I needed to make it for you. To remind you that you can do it. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. You might be on the slow decline for several months now. It's been eating at you. That's okay. We can make a decision right now to change tomorrow. But in order to change tomorrow, we have to change our thoughts about ourselves today. We have to raise our attitude about ourselves. Our thoughts, feelings, and actions. How do we raise our attitude? If we want to change the outside world, we have to change here first. Get good with yourself. Start to feel proud about yourself. What can you do right now so you begin to feel proud about yourself? Is it waking up early? Is it dropping a bad habit? Is it getting in the gym? What is something you can do today to make you feel good about yourself? Because when you start to feel good about yourself, you start to raise your opinion about yourself. When you raise your opinion about yourself, people can feel that and you radiate in your energy. Remember that time in your business where things were just flowing? It's just like effortless. You know why? It wasn't that you were working hard. It's that your energy was in alignment because you're proud about yourself, because what you were doing in your personal life made you feel good about your attitude. And now that the things have been going sideways and backwards and reverse and all these different shit, because you forgot who you are, because that's the devil's language. He'll make you forget who you are by getting you involved in your outside world. Now we're going to cut that off. We're going to start to feel good about ourselves, raise our attitudes, and start to radiate to other people. And this can be quick. Just make a decision right now. Like if you're still watching this video up to this point, you're resonating with everything I'm saying. Make that decision right now, and I'm going to make it with you. Whatever your plan is for your detox to go to the next level, whatever decisions you're making, I want you to drop it in the comments below so the community can engage, can support you, and I want you to keep a commitment. Whatever you type in that chat, I want you to commit to that for the next 30 days and watch how your life changes. Make sure you add in the other protocols that I have on this YouTube channel, such as meditation, mindset, studying, all these things that I have. If you add that in along with this and remember who you are, everything is on your side, and no weapon against you shall prosper. Yes, sir. Remember who you are.